Welcome. Another
Welcome.
week, another live show.
Yeah, that's right.
Welcome everyone. Today we have special guests with us. We have Mike Pittman and also the person that does the
Commentary
commentary
for us.
for all our events.
Yep.
Um,
It's
We have-
Joshua Penny.
First of all, yes, of course, Joshua Penny. First of all, we congratulate Bernard Vella, who
Yep.
won the R Factor 2 Endurance Pack giveaway. And congratulations to Bernard for having that Endurance Pack. And I hope that you will enjoy it. I'm sure that you're going to be using it for our R Factor 2 events. And as usual, we have my co. You are my co, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
your co. Adrian Figallo, as usual.
That's right. Hello, everybody. So, as Justin well said, now we congratulated Bernard for this endurance pack. We're going now for our next subject, of the
Casual
day,
race.
which is the casual race of tomorrow, which is the Williams FW26.
Which is tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah, that's right.
We don't have that much drivers
Yep.
and we need more. Now this is a thing that we discussed already with Mike Pittman. For those that do not know, Mike is taking care of the coordination of our Factor 2 events, and we are discussing together, probably that what we'll be doing is to prepare at least a 1 month of casual
Casual
races, so people will know much before, not a week before, about the casual races that we're going to have. Tell us your opinions. I think it is the best idea so far.
Yeah.
We select three, because we do 3 casual races per month. Depending on your opinions, we can do and select any car mod that you prefer, as long as it is a good mod. And obviously we'll organize an event up to your choice. So it's your choice to choose any car mods that you prefer, and then depending on the majority, we choose the mod, so you can enjoy the race.
Yeah. Something important, they can also make comments now during
Yes.
the live show, and obviously we'll be ready to answer. So that is something you can also
Yes, you
comment,
can
join us.
send
This
us
is why-
messages. There's Mike Pittman as well, taking care of the chat. And yes, now we are more than 2 people answering the questions of
That's right.
our fans. So we have a new person, which is already helping us a lot, thanks to Mike, especially Mike, who promoted much more than we could the CRTCR Championship. In
Yep.
fact, we got for the first time over 25
Five
drivers, and they are still counting. We're not going to do it with 40. First of all, we cannot do it because the pits only allows 36 cars, but still it's going to be a huge
Yeah.
grid, which it is not going to be looking that much good, especially in the first corner. But 25, 27 maximum 30 drivers,
Yes, that's
and
right.
we cannot accept any more drivers. So if you haven't registered yet, register now. Go to wearproracing.com. There's the CRTCR Championship, and you can register there. There is written that the registrations are closed, but if you register, you will be selected under the reserved list. But if you register now, as long as we don't go over 30 drivers, you'll be allowed to race. I have sent an email to all the registered drivers with the template, with the base template. There are our sponsors there, which they cannot be moved to any other location, and you have to design your livery around that logo. And also, those who didn't send their car numbers, their 2 preferred numbers, please do it now, because we need to move on. We are thinking on doing a practice session. Probably we will do it around either next week, next Monday on the 9th, or else on the 16th.
Yeah, I had
depending
something to
if-
say also about the casual races.
Yes,
That
yes.
we would like to see that, like, when drivers commit to race, please do make sure that you're available. Sorry, it's not for us. It's actually for the drivers that register and obviously commit to race on our casual races. So it's important that, listen, look, if you're available and if you register, make sure that you're available to race on the day, because it's not fair on other drivers that commit to do the race, then in the last minute we have a lot of drop-offs.
Yeah.
And obviously enough sometimes could result in the future, till now it didn't happen, but it could result that we need to also cancel a race.
And
But,
also, now we have more manpower. We have Mike Pittman, we have Joshua, and obviously they are committing themselves to work with us. And last notice, I tell them, listen, we don't have the race because we have a few drivers. It's not,
yeah,
it's not,
nice.
it's not fair. So
That's right.
yes,
Even Joshua could have also other commitments, like
Yeah, of
Mike,
course.
like everybody. So be sure that if you register, you're available on the day to race, because everybody has his own commitments. We commit to do the race and obviously do it on the professional level, like we do all our races. So that's important that you'll be here with us.
There's a message by Roy Kopp. What will you do when drivers don't show up for the DCR races? Basically, if nobody informs us before the race, at least 2 or 3 days before, unless it's an emergency, we're not going to tolerate people not turning up. So if you do not turn up without notifying us, you're disqualified from the championship. Simple as that. This is how we work. That's how we worked in other championships, and we're going to keep strict as possible.
It's just a notification, because anything can happen.
Yes, of course.
Give us a notification, a message. Listen, unfortunately I cannot take part in next Monday's race, for example, and like that you're excused. But definitely people not turning up on the day, they won't be tolerated.
Yes. So we hope we are clear with both the casual races to join, and please commit yourself to race. We are doing it for fun, but yet in a professional way. Appreciate what we do, because we do it the most professional as possible.
Yep.
And obviously we have family, we have children, everybody has his own life and they have their own commitments, so appreciate our work. Also, apart from tomorrow, the casual race, the day after, Friday, we have the Porsche Championship, Continental Cars Limited Porsche Championship, round 5 at the Nürburgring. And obviously now people who have been watching before know what type of championship is this, and so don't miss this round, because it's going to be another great race.
Definitely, yeah, obviously. As we always said, the classification right now is quite near, so anything can happen. Hani Al Sabti is right now leading the championship, but there is still half of the races to be done, so anything can happen, and definitely the next race is going to be a good one, because everybody wants more points, so that keeps being competitive till the end of the championship.
And since we started, the first casual race that we've done, I remember it was the BTCC. Since that time, we didn't have those very huge mistakes.
Yep.
I mean, we started from the beginning and we informed the community at that time that we were going to be very strict with penalties and doing a clean race. If it's an incident, it's away, but doing it on purpose, it's another. It happened in other servers from my experience, and we do not tolerate that kind of behavior, which so far it didn't happen, and hopefully it will not. I'm going back to CR Championship. We're going to publish the rules by tomorrow. The same rules, basically the same as the Porsche, about the blue flags, shortcuts and many other things. The penalties of the game is going to be applied.
Yes.
If we see huge shortcuts and other bad behavior, they're going to be penalized.
Then there's going to be the list of
Yes.
penalties. Actually, the penalties themselves, like 10-second penalty for that behavior, 20-second for that Still, obviously, the decision of the stewards will be done concretely on the day. It doesn't mean that they will stick 100% to those penalties, because there could be some situations which, like, it's a balance between two kind of penalties, so that is then up to the stewards to give that penalty. But definitely there's gonna be, as Justin said, penalties of the game apply, and our penalties in bad behavior on track and other incidents, race incidents that can happen, and obviously we can penalize that.
We have a bit of changes in this championship, not changes. I mean, something different. For example, we have the sprint races, and then we have the
Endurances.
we call them the endurance races, which are 60 minutes plus one lap
Yes, Nelson,
with
hello,
the
Nelson.
2 times tire wear. So obviously you have to pit because the tire wear, the tire treading will lose its grip much quicker than having a one
normal
times.
race, that's right. So it's done that way, so that we'll see people. It's important. That means that
Strategies.
even you need to plan your strategy when you're gonna pit in, and the right time, how much fuel you're gonna start with, how much fuel you're gonna put on when you pit in. So that is something definitely which will make the championship, especially the endurance
Interesting.
races, more exciting
Exactly.
and more competitive. Hello, Nelson. Abrunoza.
Hi, Nelson.
I see there is also Clinton. I
Clinton
think,
Falzon, yes. Hello,
Falzon.
Clinton.
One of our
And
sponsors also, Goliath
of
Coatings.
course, the last thing about the CRTCR Championship, I've sent an email. Those who did not receive an email, please inform me. But I think I've sent it 2 days ago or 3 days ago, so by now you should have received it. And if you didn't, send me an email. The deadline of deliveries is on the 15th July. So by 15th July, send me the templates, your liveries, so I can test them and see that they are all correct, and we move on to start the championship, to start the testing day. I will announce the testing day tomorrow. We need to check a bit the calendar to see that everything is okay. We suggest that in the testing day everyone will join to make sure that the liveries are all connected to the correct driver, and also you have to log in just to see your GUID of Steam, so I can link your livery with your car. So you have to log in at least once to the server, and you do a few laps. So I have you registered on our system, so I can take your GUID.
We have a hello from Leslie. Hello, Leslie.
Hello,
Elephant.
Leslie.
And Roy Cobb said.
Yes, I did it already. Roy, yes, I already uploaded the new version of the CRTCR. So yes, you have to download the new version. So obviously you will synchronize correctly with the server, or else you will not be able to log in. So that's about the CRTCR Championship. Test day, we're going to be publishing it tomorrow. The rules, the penalties, and deliveries the deadline of deliveries is on the 15th July. R Factor 2.
Yep. We have our guests with us.
Yes, of course. We already informed you about recently Mike joined our team, who's going to be taking care of the events of R Factor 2, coordinator of the events, and they are with us today along with Joshua Penny, our commentator, and obviously Mike Pittman will going to be discussing a bit about what's happening in R Factor 2, and also our way forward with R Factor 2, what's going to happen, and also we're going to meet to introduce you to the person who we have seen for the first time today.
Ourselves, we see him for the first time today. We've been hearing his voice for quite a few months now,
of course.
Which is Joshua Penny. Joshua Penny, who's our regular commentator for all our races. He's here with us also today, together with Mike, and we're gonna go now live with them.
Yes.
So that we'll have a short discussion with them also.
And here we go. Welcome, Mike and Joshua. This is the first time that Joshua is with us, as we said, and Mike is the second time, and it's going to be quite often that we will be having Mike with us. So let's introduce Joshua for the first time. As we said, Joshua is our main commentator, and who is getting a good he's getting good comments about his commentary, and he's a very good commentator. We enjoy his commentary.
He does his homework.
Yes, he does
Every
his
time we
homework
have
well.
a race,
Yes,
we
exactly.
really notice that, because he knows about the drivers, he knows
Exactly.
about
The track as well.
very
'Cause
well. So
I don't even know several corners, the name of the corners.
but he knows them all, so that is very good.
So, Joshua, how long have you been doing commentary, and especially when did you start sim racing?
Hello. So yeah, as you said, I'm Joshua Penny, the commentator for World Pro Racing and Sim Racing Malta. I actually started commentating really quite recently, actually. So I was always commentating on random videos on YouTube, but no one would hear that except for maybe my brother and my cat. But I started commentating on sim races in, I think it was September or October last year, so really quite recently. And since then, I've been quite surprised, but very happy with how quickly things have just sort of spiraled upwards. And well, it's fantastic that I found myself with World Pro Racing, because I can tell it's a new league with a lot of potential and some very good guys working for it. You know, it's taken very, very seriously, and so it should be, because it's a very good league, and I'm happy to be here.
Great. Obviously, we know that you're enjoying it, because I think not the last casual race, the one before, you were so excited with that finish between Bernard and Leslie.
And Leslie, yeah, that's
In
right.
fact, we did that highlight, which it was a throwback of Thursday. So we know that you're enjoying it, and hopefully you will stay with us. We grow, you grow with us. In fact, I think since you've been commentating with us, you had some opportunities to commentate in a real motorsport event, right?
Yes, yeah, I did my first real motorsport event commentary earlier this year. It was the first ever 24 Hours of Rockingham, actually.
Nice.
Rockingham is a semi-road, semi-oval race course in England, for those of you who don't know. And we were racing these little Citroen C1s. If you know what those are, those are kind of these tiny little, you know, bubble city cars, the modern equivalent of a bubble car. And we had 49 of those going around the Rockingham circuit for 24 hours. And all 49 of them finished. It was fantastic, you know, all 49 of them finished. Great little cars. Yeah, they weren't fast. We weren't expecting them to be. But as a cheap way of going with motor racing, it was very, very entertaining. And as my first commentary as well, it was perfect. You know, it was the great sort of environment for me to get used to it. You know, nothing too quick or fast paced. It was just sort of, welcome in, Joshua, have a nice relaxing time. So that's what happened, and I hope it's going to happen more in the future.
Yeah.
But
So
again,
sorry.
as a commentator, there's nothing better than watching one of those races like Leslie versus Bernard at Imola. You could hear that, because every time something happened, I was trying to make my voice go even more excited and higher. And it just wouldn't go there, because I was already at the top from the start. It was just a fantastic race. And I must say, my voice really hurt after that. So thanks for that.
Yeah, and what did you see any difference when commentating a virtual racing event along with the real racing event?
I thought there would be, because in simulator racing you can just click through the cameras and get, you know, whatever camera you like. And in reality you can't really see that. You only really get one TV camera. The great thing about Rockingham as a circuit is that because it's in a valley, because it's an oval with a road course in the middle, you can see the entire thing from the commentary. So I wasn't actually looking at the TV camera. I was looking at the track itself. So it wasn't actually that much different from simulator commentary, because I could see everything. But I think if I was to do it at a different track, that would take a bit of getting used to. So that's why this event was a great one to start with.
Yeah, great. And we hope that it's not going to be the last event that you will be commentating at a real motorsport event.
I'm getting some comments
I'm
here.
sure. Comments?
Josh Martin, he's excited to see Josh.
Hi, Josh. From Josh.
And
Nice name.
we have, yes, that's right.
Yes, we have Leslie, who is interested in joining our race tomorrow. Yes, I will register him after we finish. Thank you, Leslie, for joining.
Yeah,
We
and,
appreciate it.
Clinton is saying Joshua the best.
Joshua the best. Yes, he is.
He's great.
Thank you.
Let's go a bit with Mike. Let's let the ambulance pass.
Yeah, so-
So, Mike, you're much more informed and updated about R-Factor 2 because I last race was, I think, 6 or more years ago. And what's going on with R-Factor 2?
Well, quite a lot, really. I think you'll come on to the bigger news in a bit that it's being used for the McLaren Shadow project that they put out. So it just shows the level that R-Factor 2 really is at. That they're including that once again. They used it last year, so it just kind of shows actually how great this simulator is, how close it is to real racing. But what's going on, they keep updating this each month. They bring out a roadmap to let you know what's coming up over the coming months, which is great. Keep us informed. I love the communication from Studio 397. So they've come up with, they've got a new update for the GT pack, which is still on sale on Steam, as is R-Factor 2. So if you haven't joined us on that yet, probably the best time to do it now, because we're going to be using it a lot over the coming months and years, probably. So I can't wait to get going with World Pro Racing, really getting actually some R-Factor 2 races happening. But there's a great update coming for the GT pack after the endurance, sort of means that you might be able to use both together potentially. They've got some great tracks coming on. The Sebring one that they've laser scanned coming up now with night and day with the lighting as well as Zandvoort. They're updating a bit more as well. Incredible racetrack if you haven't had a go at that yet. There's all official content that they're bringing out at the moment, let alone all the modding that is coming out. There's a few others. Those of you that race in VR, there's a new update as well coming in that, particularly around the rain. Something that R-Factor 2 is brilliant at is the weather. And they updated that again in the latest build, but with the VR, I gave a few frame rate issues, but that should be fixed with this new update that's coming out over July. Small issues, not many people are getting it, but it's just a few small smoothing fixes that should help a few people not skip a few frame rates here and there. I know that VR is really kicking off now with a lot of people, so it's great that that's coming in. They're actually starting to build a lot more going forwards as well with like some other companies that they're working with now. It sounds quite interesting what's coming up. I can't wait really to see what they're going on with. Since it's gone to Studio 397, there's been an awful lot they've done with it, and I can just see them progressing even further now. The base is there, the actual mods are fantastic. So the official content that is coming out, it's a little slower coming out, granted, but it's great when it does turn up. So there's Formula E, there's the GT pack, the endurance pack, any of those. There's a karting sim as well. I'd recommend any of those to anyone that can get them. And there's a load of free content as well out for modders, which we'll be looking into more for the casual races particularly. There's some great things out there which I want to bring up over the next coming weeks and stuff to get you all a bit excited with it all. I know some of you will have raced some of them elsewhere and know how great they are already, but I think we can really do something special here at World Pro Racing particularly. It's just incredible, and it hopefully will coincide with all the new stuff that's kicking in with ourselves here.
Yeah, great. I'm looking forward to start organizing events in R-Factor. I've been doing some testing and it's feeling very great.
We've been discussing that for quite a long time.
Yeah, but now we're moving much quicker than before.
Right.
Mike, since you are much updated about R-Factor, do you think there will be a newer version of R-Factor?
A newer version? Yeah. They keep bringing out small updates. Do you mean like an R-Factor 3? Is that the sort of thing you're getting at? Or do you mean like a...
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think the original R-Factor got a good 12 years out of it because it kept on being used. This one, I think actually when you speak to Marcel, who is sort of basically running the show near enough over there with Dom at Studio 397, they see this sort of going on for a long way. There's still so much potential in it that actually it's almost at the top of what everybody can run at home. Like everyone's sort of standard computers at the moment at home, this is sort of the top level that you can process in power or with all the actual data that goes on behind the scenes of R-Factor 2 that you don't get in all some other games. with the tyre models and with everything, all the real road and everything that goes into it all. Like the processing power that it takes at the moment, the normal person at home only just has enough to run this now. So if they wanted to go any further with it, it would sort of like deflate the market anyway. There is a rFactor 2 Pro, which is what the real race teams use and put on top of. It's sort of like a base that they use, most of these real race teams now, up to Formula 1 and some other teams as well. Formula 3 have got it, things like this. They all use these sort of, it's all based on rFactor 2. So there's a huge life left in this. There's probably another good 10 years left in this, realistically. And they'll just keep evolving it. It's the beauty of the type of game, rather than picking a game off a shelf that you, like a Forza or something like that, which is just, this is a finished game and they put a few updates on it to fix a few things. This game's evolving all the time. They're always adding new bits in and changing things around. And because the base code is what the top guys use, it's only really putting parts of what they use into the game anyway. So I think this is going to be around for ages, really. rFactor 1, to be fair, still has a bit of a community working with that even now. And we stopped using that a good 5 or so years ago now.
Yeah, so I mean, I asked this question because like Project Cars, they're always doing the next upgrade. Assetto Corsa, now they have Competizione, and that's why I said, is there going to be an rFactor 3, for example? Because people sometimes, they say this has been out for a long time, so let me wait for the next version. That's why I asked this question. So people who are interested in, and maybe those who do not afford to buy everything, rFactor 2 has a lot of potential, a long lifetime for practicing, enjoying yourself, training, and prepare yourself on a track before you go to the real track. In fact, the force feedback on our rigs is amazing. So yes, rFactor is not something that you have to miss. I mean, try it out. There's a sale going on. It's not expensive. Mods, there are quite a lot of mods which are free. You just need to subscribe on Steam, on Workshop, and it will be automatically downloaded. And then there are as Mike already explained, the GT Pack and the Formula E as well. So we will be doing GT events, championships, endurance for sure. I will continue discussing with Mike, and then we come out with something as we usually do, obviously.
Exciting.
Having something back in a good way. And especially the casual races, which will be splitting 1 week with rFactor 2, 1 week in Assetto Corsa, and maybe also, as we mentioned last time, Race Room as well.
So I would like to say hello to somebody.
Yeah,
I have a fan also. Hello, David. Thank you. It's been a long time. I didn't see you, so thanks for the comment.
So yes, I was explaining about rFactor 2. We will be organizing championships, which I'm just discussing with Mike the best way, the best time. We're not going to hurry. We're going to find a suitable date and a good solid championship with a good prize. People now know what kind of prizes we offer to the drivers, like the Porsche Championship. Who's going to win will be going to drive various Porsche cars.
Around 9 of them. Yeah, around 9 of them.
Yeah, around 9 cars, Porsche cars, obviously, at the Intercity track in Istanbul, which is worth over 3,000 euros, which is a good price. And also the Seat TCR Championship, which is a bit lower, obviously, from the Porsche Championship, but we haven't started yet. That's what I can say. So stay tuned, share our pages, and let's build the community, because obviously we need drivers to take part. If we don't have drivers, we cannot offer any prizes. We cannot continue working. We're not going to race ourselves. You imagine me driving together?
We'll do a small car demolition.
Yeah, well, we can do one, a fun one. So something new that we haven't said yet. We're working on a platform where people can join and compete against each other in a unique way. Let's say it like that. I cannot say much more, but we're working on something good for the community.
It's a work in progress.
Yes, it's a work in progress, and as I said, we don't need to hurry. We're going to work on something which is unique, and it's quite rewarding.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll be always giving you some news all the time.
Updates.
As you know now, every week we
give
do
you-
something. We offer a hint of what we're doing. The vacancies. We have a call for a video editor who can help us with editing our videos. I'm discussing also this with Mike, who will be helping me as well finding a good video editor. You don't have to be the top video editor, because you will be helping us, but this will lead to a paid job. So at the moment it's not a paid job, but you will get to know much more how we work. You get work experience, and definitely you will be working with us as long as the work will be satisfactory. You know?
That's it. It is something
Sorry.
It's something that it will evolve.
Yeah, of course.
You can evolve with us.
Yeah.
We're working hard. We have a lot of big projects in mind.
Yep.
Big targets ahead. So if you're with us from now, definitely you'll be with us in the future, because that's something actually, Justin, we always worked like that, yeah, about loyalty.
Yeah.
Even our sponsors, sometimes even in our local events, we had sponsors actually from year to year to year following us, telling us what events are coming up so that they can support us, and we always give them the first right of refusal, and sometimes we do lose other opportunities
Yep.
to give them like their space. That is something that we believe in it. Who believes in us, who's with us from day one,
Yes.
we'll keep him with us
Yeah.
for the future.
That's what one of the things that we do, and we say to the companies, that everybody started from zero
Yep.
and went up with the help and support of their sponsors. And the same is for us.
There is a stairway.
Exactly.
You need to go it up slowly. It's
In a way or another, we do it,
That's
but
it.
obviously with the help of sponsors, we obviously grow much in less
we
time.
have some projects which can happen much faster than we think. So
And it's good to know that whatever we're doing, it's for the drivers.
Yeah.
It's not for us. I mean, there's nothing to hide. I mean, if we're going to offer something to a driver,
like what we gave, like the Porsche Championship.
yeah, the
we
Porsche
gave
Championship, we
something
could
to
have
the
done it
guy.
ourselves. But why? I mean, there's a driver who
I would
has
have
good
loved.
potential.
I would have loved to go and drive the Porsches
course.
myself, and
Of
I
course.
have no doubt you would have loved it too.
Hmm.
But we've done it for the drivers. Listen, it's an experience, and who knows? Sim racing is always the first step to something bigger.
Yep, exactly. I think today we have explained everything. Mike already explained about the McLaren Shadow project,
Yeah,
and obviously he knows exactly what to say, because one of the drivers, Rudy Van Buren, I think everybody knows where he is working now. Well, we could ask Mike, how long have you been knowing Rudy Van Buren?
And we know him. He did about 2 years with us, all in. Well, a year and a half probably actually with us. And then, yeah, now doing fantastic at McLaren. So he still speaks to us regularly during that. He even still helps out our team actually
Great.
in the background a little bit. Does a little bit of, keeps his hand in. You know, it's, I think once a racing once a esports or a sim racing driver, always a sim racing driver. You want to keep your foot in, keep trying, keep driving out. You know, he has a YouTube channel you can all have a look at as well on there.
Yeah.
You know, to keep you entertained. Just see what actually you could get to. The guy who works at McLaren, the guy who helps out that team on the track. And it related, you know, I don't think it was any surprise that most of the people that were finalists in World's Fastest Gamer had done very well on R-Factor 2 in the past or currently. So it's a great platform to people who have actually moved into and see what's going on there. Of course, Rudy had done a little bit of racing in his younger days as well. But you do find actually quite a lot of sim racers have done a little bit of karting in the past or something like that. But actually, this level that sim racing is at now, when you've got full grids of 20 to 30 cars, you need that that mentality is pretty much the same as if you're driving in a as close as you can get now. It's pretty mad that you can, as proven with Rudy, he jumped into the Race of Champions and beat Lando Norris, like, and that's in a real car. And this is the guy, you know, like he nearly had who else did he have? Nearly, was it Solberg? Or so? It was very, very close. It was incredible to see that actually this is a guy that, you know, a year ago was working in our team, or people were racing against him. You know, Josh might have been commentating on him. That sort of element where he's then suddenly, you know, racing next to Vettel and stuff. You know, this is mad. But that's the level we're at now. This is what we do. That's why, you know, sponsors are interested. That's why some people come into the business now. It's a cheap alternative than race driving. We're aware that's an expensive pastime. You know, we're here arguing between, is it better to spend £8 on a game or £50 on a game? You know, we're talking £10,000 to race in a car somewhere at a lower series. You know, racing at Rockingham will have cost more than that. With Josh commentating, no doubt, in the little city cars. So yeah, this is the way to go. And you know, McLaren know that. They've signed this up for 5 years or so now with their Shadow project. They know they need simulator drivers, and actually they're getting ahead of the game of everybody because they want the best of the best. So if they're the ones doing it, you know, there's also the Formula One esports thing going on right now. The draft kicks in at the end of the week. You know, I know it's slightly different. That's actually more arcadey. I don't really count that as sim racing in the same way, but it still shows it's an esport. It shows the viewers. It shows that Formula One teams are looking at simulator drivers in some way, whether that's from an entertainment aspect or not. Interesting actually that all the different Formula One teams have gone a different way with it. So some of them have like pre-picked some drivers. Some people are using the draft. Some people want them to be a sim racing team afterwards. Some people just want to do it just for the championship with Formula One. Some have teamed up with existing sim racing teams. Williams has done a deal with is it Jim with them? Veloz done one with Sauber, I believe. There's a few kicking around. There's a few I've heard about that are still yet to be announced. So I won't go into those yet. But there's an awful lot of these teams that, you know, are the big names that we all know in sim racing are getting noticed now by Formula One teams, and that can be you guys. Get involved, get racing. Anyone who's watching, if you haven't tried yet, get onto the casual races. If you enjoy that, you know, you might want to take things a little bit more seriously. Get involved in some training days. Look at some setups, look at the wheel you've got maybe. You don't have to have a massively expensive setup. Most of the guys actually that qualified for World's Fastest Gamer last year were running on like an old G25 or something like that. You know, it's under $100. You know, it's not. We're not talking crazy money. You can spend $5,000 on these things, but or more. Why? You know, but you don't need to. It's your skill. It's your time you put in, and actually the passion for it. If you've got that, we will cater for you. Get involved in the community. I'm sure we can do, you know, at this stage as well, you know, being new, and I'm sure you guys would agree with me, being quite new with a smaller community than some places at the moment, it means you've got a bigger voice. You want to race something, we will probably listen to you more than somewhere else. This could be your community. This is your series, basically. We will run what you want to run, because it's the passion. We have the passion as well. You guys have that passion. We just want to make sure it keeps on going.
Yeah, and I was going to forget, but I kept it in my mind. Maybe next week or whenever he's available, we can maybe get in touch with Rudy and we ask him some questions, and maybe even our fans, they get to ask him questions about what is his current experience with McLaren, since it's his first job in real motorsport, sort of, you know.
He's giving his esport input. Into real motor.
He can tell us exactly.
I'm sure he may well do. He's done a commentary job for me in the past. He even raced for me a couple of weeks back. So he's still around. It's just depending on around those McLaren. He's flying back from the Netherlands to Woking and stuff all the time. So he is in and around. And he's you know, at the moment he is down in Silverstone doing the whole esports with McLaren. So he's quite busy currently, but I'm sure there will be a time when, you know, he loves speaking to the guys. He's not forgotten where he's come from, put it that way.
Yeah. He's down to earth. We have a question,
Leslie.
So I think it's we're done for today, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike, for being here, and thank you for the job you're doing. Well done. And also thanks to Joshua for his commentary. And obviously this is from all our team and George. Obviously George doesn't join us during the live streaming, but obviously he is doing other
Other
things
things.
that are very, very important in simulators and many other things. And obviously we have to split because we cannot do everything by ourselves. So we have all our jobs and we try to help each other. So thank you, Mike, and thank you, Joshua. Maybe you'll join us next week. We find a topic to talk about. Maybe we'll get Rudy, or the week after. So maybe you can ask him some questions and get whatever you want to ask. So that's all for today. Obviously, I leave it up to Adrian to thank our sponsors.
I think Justin said enough today. He didn't give me so much room to say anything. But thanks, Joshua. Thanks, Mike. Again, I would like to thank our sponsors, which are Continental Cars Limited, SimNews.tv, Techstore, GT Omega Racing, Melita, Husingveld, Virtual Race Car Engineer and Setup Developer Tools 2018 for our casual races. Goliath Coatings and Chevron Creative Solutions. Thanks for your support. Thanks for believing in us.
Yes.
And thanks to you, we're here today and for weeks, months and years to come.
Yes. So we'll see you next week
We'll see you
in
tomorrow.
our live stream, but you'll see us tomorrow in our casual race and the day after in the Porsche Championship, which is very important to watch because now it's getting more intense.
That's
Who's going to win the Porsche Championship and get to drive the Porsche cars at the Intercity track in Istanbul. So stay tuned. Tomorrow casual race, Friday the Porsche Championship, and then we'll see you next Wednesday for our live show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. and
Bye-bye.
have a good evening.
Gigabit Internet issa f'Malta. Gawdi mill-Giga Power biss mal-Melita Flexi.